a stack taller than you? What do you think? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. It's Dave and Olive. Thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. We talk about the books we've read recently to help spread the joy of reading. Today, we're not talking about the books we've read recently. Today, we're talking about another book haul. I know, Dave, Olive, another haul. This one, swear to God, this one was totally by accident. Totally unintentional haul. This one really wasn't our fault. So I'm, I always stay up really late Friday nights because it's the end of the week. Stay up late and watch the TV. So I sleep in on Saturdays. And so I'm lying in bed Saturday morning, and it's probably like 9 o'clock. And all of a sudden I start hearing all this noise outside. We live in a cul-de-sac. And it's just, I keep hearing car door after car door, opening, closing, and what is all that noise out there? It's normally pretty quiet. We're like in a cul-de-sac off of a cul-de-sac. So I go up and I look out the window and I see like all these cars completely like filling up the cul-de-sac, like one even like partially blocking off my driveway. I'm like, what the heck is this? And so I guess I went to the door and I looked outside, and there was an estate sale going on right next door. There was an older gentleman lived over there, and it didn't really talk to much, and so I had no idea that this was happening. And I was like, oh, well, let me go look this up. Specifically, I said, well, let me just say estate sale. Let's see if they have any books there. So I looked it up online, and sure enough, there it was, and it mentioned lots and lots of books. So I'm like, this is 50 feet away, right? How am I not going to go over there? So I took a shower, got dressed, and walked next door, and sure enough, there was just room after room of books. This gentleman was used to be professor at we have a couple universities by here, and so he was a professor, and so naturally he just had a lot of books, and not normally our style, but we poked around, and we did find quite a few things actually that we were interested in, and it was, once again, it was like $1 a book, so how can you pass it up? So we'll get started because we found a few things so the first one we found was actually a pretty surprising find, because we've been working our way through vintage science fiction, all right? We've been working our way through vintage science fiction. And one of the next ones we had a little stack of the ones we were going to hit next, and one of the old ones that we had is this one, is War with the Newts by Karel Capek. And I don't know if I pronounced that right, the author's name right, but as you can see, this is a really old copy. This was first published in 1937, I believe, but is that right? And then this was 36, it was first published. English was probably first in 1937. But anyway, this copy's from 1955. As you can see, it's very old, 35 cents. And so I was wondering, I really wanted to read this, but I was wondering how I was going to read this without, destroying this old copy. And so sure enough, it's not like I had a ton of science fiction or anything here, but sure enough, I was walking around, and he just happened to have this much more modern, perfect condition copy of War with the Newts. So I don't know, maybe it's just Czech or something. This was originally in Czech, so I couldn't believe this was there, and so I grabbed it, obviously, so I have a nice reading copy without ruining that one. And what this story is about, is a science fiction story about humanity discovers this intelligent race of giant newts. I guess that's what they're supposed to look like, if you can see that, and just exploits them for labor and stuff. And then, sure enough, I guess the newts, rise up and I don't know. I haven't read it yet, but it has something to do with that. So it sounds pretty cool. One of the next ones on our list. So I'm pretty glad I found a reading copy there. Okay, so the next one we saw was Edith and Fromm by Edith Wharton. And this, I think, is somewhat of a classic. I probably should know more about it, but I don't. But when I saw this, I picked this up because we had just recently read My Dark Vanessa. And we did a review on that. If you're interested, you can watch that separately. But that was about a literature teacher who was grooming one of his students. And the way he did that, part of how he did that was, he would give her copies of some of his books, and they would talk about them. Like Lolita was the main one. But one of the books that he talked about was this one. And I don't know much about it, but just seeing him mention seeing that be one of the books that the professor used in My Dark Vanessa made me interested in checking it out. And I guess it's one of the books that the professor talked about with the student, because I guess I don't know much about it, but I guess Ethan is his I think his wife is dying, but his wife's cousin is there helping, and I think he falls for the cousin. I guess they were talking about it because I guess that was a forbidden love, and that's what My Dark Vanessa and Lolita and all those were about. And so anyway, so that's all I know about it, but wanted to check it out for that reason. So so I got it when I saw it there. The next one we picked up was also, he didn't have a lot of books like this, but this was Zombie by Joyce Carol Oates. And this was on my list of books, on my long list of books to get, because I think it was Juan over Plagued by Visions that I had heard mention this and talk about it. It was like really, really extreme, and so of course that made me interested in it. And it's it's about this psychopathic killer. I guess some people seem nice, but he's actually a psychopathic killer. Apparently it's very dark and extreme, and that's pretty much all I know about it. But yeah, so picked that up when we saw that one there. Then we picked up this, he had this Penguin Classics edition, old Penguin Classics edition of Herodotus, the Histories. And I picked up this one because Michael K Vaughan won't stop talking about it. It's his favorite book, I believe. So I figured I should probably pick it up and read it, since the book is so important to him. Okay, and then we got, I think, because we saw right after we saw that one, we saw this one, Tacitus. That Herodotus, that tells the tales of, I guess, the struggle between, ancient Greece and the Great Persian Empire. And so anyway, so we shortly after that we saw this Tacitus, the Annals and Histories. And this is a historian that was telling about the first century of the Roman Empire. So I don't know, seemed like something worth picking up. Then we saw this older copy of Island by Aldous Huxley, who also did Brave New World. And so we actually already have an old copy of this in. It's up there somewhere in hardcover. I have not read it yet. We have the hardcover version. The dust jacket is all like ripping apart, and so we didn't have it in paperback. So I planned to read it, so figured I'd pick up this just to have a reading copy. This is about this idyllic island that's where the people are just a life of live a life of pleasure, and almost seem, I think, a little bit hedonistic, this place, and then it basically gets intruded upon by the outside world that I guess are looking to exploit it, and for some reason, and that's pretty much all I know about it. Even again, I should know more, but so we picked up that, and then the next one was so this is Henry James, the Turn of the Screw, but it has a number of other novels in it. It has his novels, also Daisy Miller, An International Episode, The Aspern Papers, The Altar of the Dead, The Beast in the Jungle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. So counting the Turn of the Screw, it has those 6 novels in it. Now I haven't read any of those other ones, so it just seemed like a Signet Classic edition. Had all 6 in it, so it seemed worth picking up. Okay, and then the next one we got was I wanted to get my hands on this for a long time, and this is a famous comedy novel, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This is an old copy of the book. This was also turned into a movie, Dr. Strangelove. I have not read the book or watched the movie, but I want to do both. Olive. I guess Olive left. Hold on. Olive. Come here. Come on, we're doing the video, man. I think Mama opened some food in the kitchen, and that always gets somebody's attention, right, Olive? Yeah. Oh, here. You want to? We don't have any more of the Sour Patch Kids, but we got those. You want one of those? Yeah. Yeah. This one? Yeah. Okay. So that'll tide you over, right? Till dinner. This is about, if you don't already know, this is about it's a comedy about an unhinged Air Force general that orders a first nuclear strike on the Soviet Union. And I am old enough to have actually been worried about the Soviet Union when we had the Soviet Union and not just Russia. But it's kind of timely with everything going on today that we're talking about this book about living in the Cold War and the threat of nuclear war between the U.S. and what was then the Soviet Union. And so he orders a first strike, and then so some of it's from his perspective, and I think some of it's from the perspective of like the president and his posse that are like trying to stop the B-52 from actually doing this strike. And so supposedly a really good book, a really good movie. So I'm going to read the book, and then I'm going to watch the movie. That's the plan. Okay, and then the last one was this Penguin Classics of Candide by Voltaire. This was a famous book written in 1700s by Voltaire, famous philosopher. I know pretty much nothing about this, just that it's, again, I should know more, it's I guess a guy that's living a pretty idyllic life, and then has a rude awakening and experiences a lot of, I guess, suffering, and so it deals a bit with it's a philosophical novel. It deals with the problem of evil. And so that's pretty much all I know about it, but it's something I probably should have read a long time ago, so picked it up. So that is it. That was a total accidental book haul that could not be helped, not planned, but unavoidable. And so that's it. War with the Newts, Ethan Fromm, Zombie, Herodotus, Tacitus, Island, The Turn of the Screw and the other 5 novels, Dr. Strangelove, and Candide. So, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you get notified the next time Olive says it's okay to upload another video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.